Picture this. You're seeing a woman you really like. The chemistry is strong. You've had a few great dates, and you feel like things are moving in the right direction. But then something strange happens. One day, she's texting you nonstop, laughing at your jokes, acting super interested. The next day, she's distant. Replies take hours. She suddenly mentions another guy at work or cancels plans last minute. You're left staring at your phone wondering, what changed? Did I do something wrong? Why is she acting this way? If you've ever been in that position, you're not alone. Most men have. And here's the shocking truth. Nothing is actually wrong. What you're experiencing is part of a hidden psychological game that women play, most of the time without even realizing it. Now, before you get defensive, let me be clear. I'm not saying women are manipulative or cruel. These patterns aren't calculated schemes. They're subconscious behaviors rooted in psychology and biology. But if you don't know how to recognize them, you'll constantly feel like you're on the losing end of a game you didn't even know you were playing. And here's where most guys mess up. They either overreact, blowing up her phone, demanding answers, getting jealous, or they retreat completely, shutting down emotionally and giving up. Both of these reactions fail the test. Both of them cost you her respect. But what if you could see through the game? What if you understood exactly why she does these things? What they really mean, and most importantly, how to respond in a way that makes her see you as a man worth respecting, desiring, and holding on to? That's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Because the uncomfortable reality is this. Women don't test you because they want to frustrate you. They test you because they want to feel something. Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. And when a woman plays these subconscious games, she's looking for cues about your strength, your confidence, and your self-control. If you fail, she loses interest. If you pass, her attraction skyrockets. So in this series, I'm going to reveal the 5 most common psychological tricks women use in relationships and dating. And I'll show you the exact responses that flip the script, earn her respect, and make her chase you instead of the other way around. This isn't about being manipulative or outsmarting women. It's about understanding human psychology at its core. Once you grasp these dynamics, the confusion disappears. You'll stop second-guessing yourself, stop overthinking every text, and finally feel in control of your dating life. So pay close attention, because the next few minutes could change the way you see women forever. What I'm about to share will explain the hidden psychology behind female behavior, the patterns that confuse 97% of men, give the top 3% an unfair advantage. And once you understand them, you'll stop feeling like you're chasing women and start feeling like you're the one being pursued. Let's dive in. Trick number 1, the comparison test. Imagine this. You're sitting across from a woman you're dating. The conversation is flowing, you're feeling good, and then, out of nowhere, she drops a line like, "Wow, my coworker just bought a new car. It's so nice." Or, "My ex used to take me to this amazing restaurant." Or maybe she casually mentions that celebrity she finds so attractive. In that moment, your stomach tightens. Your brain goes into overdrive. Why is she bringing up another man? Is she comparing me to him? Am I not good enough? This, my friend, is what I call the comparison test. Now here's the important thing to understand. She's not doing this because she's evil, or because she wants to hurt your feelings. Most of the time, she doesn't even realize she's doing it. The comparison test is a subconscious behavior rooted in psychology. She's scanning for signals. She wants to see if you'll get insecure, jealous, or start competing for her approval. Why? Because insecurity screams low value. Think about it. If you truly saw yourself as a high-value man, why would you feel threatened by another guy? You'd know that you bring more to the table than just a car, a job title, or good looks. Women can sense this immediately, and that's why your reaction matters more than what she said. Let me give you the wrong response first, because this is where most men fail. She says, "My ex was so funny, he always made me laugh." And you reply, "Well, I'm funny too. You just haven't seen that side of me yet." Or worse, you roll your eyes, get defensive, and say something like, "Why are you even talking about your ex?" Both responses scream insecurity. One is desperate for validation, the other shows you're emotionally shaken. Either way, she subconsciously downgrades your value. Now let's flip it. Here's the right response. She says, "My coworker just bought a new car. It's so nice." And you reply, completely calm, "Yeah, that's a pretty sweet car." And then you smoothly change the subject. Or she says, "That actor is so hot." And you respond with a playful smirk, "Not as hot as me though. But I'll let him try." See the difference? Instead of competing or sulking, you remain unbothered. You either agree without hesitation or playfully turn it into humor. This signals that you're secure, confident, and completely comfortable in your own skin. The comparison test works because most men fail it. But when you pass it, you stand out instantly. You show her that you don't need to defend yourself, you don't need to prove yourself, and you don't get rattled by the mention of another man. And here's the kicker. When she sees that you're not fazed, she actually feels more attracted to you. Why? Because you've just demonstrated high value. You've shown that you're the kind of man who doesn't get shaken by competition because you are the competition. So remember this. The next time she mentions another guy, don't tense up. Smile, stay calm, maybe even tease a little. Passing the comparison test isn't about ignoring her. It's about showing her that nothing she says can throw you off your frame. That's what earns respect. Trick number 2, the availability test. Picture this. You've been looking forward to seeing her all week. You made plans, picked the place, maybe even bought tickets. The day comes, you're getting ready, and then, out of nowhere, you get the dreaded text, "Hey, something came up. Can we reschedule?" Or worse, she cancels last minute without even suggesting another time. Your stomach drops. You feel frustrated, even insulted. You've cleared your schedule, maybe turned down other opportunities, and now it feels like you don't matter. This is what I call the availability test. Now, let me be clear. Sometimes life happens. Emergencies, real obligations, unexpected changes, those are normal. More often than you think, these cancellations aren't about her schedule at all, they're about you. So why does she do this? Simple. She wants to see how you'll react. She wants to know if you'll bend over backwards to accommodate her, or if you'll hold your ground with quiet confidence. Because here's the harsh truth. When you immediately cave, rearrange everything, and act like her time is more valuable than yours, you send a clear, subconscious signal, your lower value. You're showing her that your world revolves around her, and that's the fastest way to lose respect. Think about it. If a man is truly high value, if he has purpose, goals, and self-respect, his time is precious. He doesn't drop everything just because someone else flaked on him. Let me give you 2 examples. Example 1, the failed response. She cancels and you reply instantly with, "No worries, I totally understand. When are you free? I'll make it work." You think you're being polite and understanding, but what she really hears is, "My schedule doesn't matter. You can walk all over me." Example 2, the winning response. She cancels and you reply calmly, "No problem. Let me know when you're free," And if it works with my schedule, we'll set it up. See the difference? The first response shows neediness. The second shows composure and self-respect. You're not angry. You're not begging. You're simply making it clear that your time matters too. Here's the key. Passing the availability test is about energy, not punishment. Don't sulk. Don't send passive-aggressive texts. Don't try to guilt trip her. That's just as weak as begging. Instead, be relaxed, unbothered, and focused on your own life. And here's the magic part. When she sees that you're not shaken, that you don't instantly reprioritize your entire life around her, she feels something powerful, respect. She realizes you're not desperate. You're a man with standards, a man with options, a man whose time is valuable. Remember, attraction is emotional. Respect fuels attraction. And the quickest way to lose respect is to act like her schedule matters more than yours. So the next time a woman cancels last minute, don't tense up, don't chase, don't rearrange. Smile, stay calm, and go live your life. Because nothing communicates high value more than being perfectly okay without her. That's how you pass the availability test. Trick number 3, the attitude test. Picture this. You're out with a woman. Everything seems fine. And then suddenly, her energy shifts. She crosses her arms, gives you short replies, or rolls her eyes at something you said. Maybe she throws in a sarcastic jab or acts uninterested for no obvious reason. You're left thinking, what just happened? Did I say something wrong? Welcome to the attitude test. Now here's the important thing to understand. She's not doing this because she's evil, manipulative, or trying to ruin your night. Most of the time, she doesn't even realize she's doing it. The attitude test is a subconscious stress test of your frame. What do I mean by frame? Your frame is simply the way you see yourself in the world. It's your internal state, your confidence, your perspective, your emotional balance. A strong frame means you hold on to that perspective no matter what's happening around you. A weak frame means you let other people's moods and actions throw you off balance. So when she gets cold, moody, or dismissive, what she's really doing is testing to see if you'll break. She wants to know, will you lose your cool and try to win her approval back? Or will you stay calm, composed, and unshaken? Let's break down the 2 responses. Failed response. She gives you attitude and you immediately try to fix it. What's wrong? Did I upset you? Please don't be mad, or you start showering her with extra compliments, over-explaining yourself, or apologizing for something you didn't even do. This shows her that her mood controls you. That's the fastest way to lose respect, because now you've stepped into the role of chasing her approval. Winning response. She gives you attitude, and instead of reacting emotionally, you mirror her energy with calm confidence. If she's short with you, you stay composed. If she acts cold, you don't beg. You let the silence sit. You might even playfully tease her. Oh, look, who suddenly turned into the ice queen. Said with a smirk, this flips the script. You're not shaken, you're amused. The key is that you don't reward bad behavior with extra validation. You don't overinvest. You stay grounded in your own frame. And the moment she realizes her attitude doesn't control you, something powerful happens. Her respect for you goes up. Here's the psychology behind it. Attraction is rooted in survival instincts. A woman wants to know that her man can handle pressure, that he won't crack under stress. When she gives you attitude, it's like a mini stress test. If you stay strong, you've passed. If you crumble, you've failed. So the next time she gets moody, dismissive, or distant, don't overreact. Don't argue, don't beg, and don't chase. Stay calm, Maybe tease a little, and most importantly, hold your frame. Because in the end, it's not about what she says or does, it's about how you respond. And when you show that nothing can throw you off your game, you become the kind of man she respects, desires, and doesn't want to lose. That's how you pass the attitude test. Trick number 4, the validation trap. Picture this. You're hanging out with a woman, and she suddenly asks, "Do you think I look good in this dress? Do you really like me? Am I prettier than that girl?" At first it feels innocent. She wants reassurance, so you give it. You pile on the compliments. "Of course you're gorgeous. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever met." And for a moment she smiles, but soon enough she asks again, and again, and again. Welcome to the validation trap. Here's the thing most men don't realize. Women are wired to seek validation. What separates a man she respects from a man she uses is how he gives it. Why does this trap work so well? Because most guys overinvest instantly. They think endless compliments will make her feel more attracted. But in reality, the opposite happens. When you give validation too freely, it loses all value. It becomes cheap, predictable, and meaningless. Think of validation like currency. If the market is flooded with dollars, the value of each dollar drops. Same with your compliments. If you hand them out every 5 seconds, they stop mattering. And here's the kicker. When validation is too easy to get, she subconsciously feels like she's above you. You've made yourself the one chasing her approval instead of the other way around. So how do you avoid the validation trap? By giving validation sparingly, selectively, and only when it's earned. Let's break it down with examples. Failed response. She says, "Do I look fat in this?" And you rush to say, "No, of course not. You're perfect. You're so gorgeous. You're amazing." You're not lying, but you've just dumped your entire emotional wallet on the table. She didn't have to earn it. It cost her nothing. Winning response. She says, "Do you like this dress on me?" You smile and say, "It's nice, but I like the one you wore last week even better." Or you might playfully tease, "You're fishing for compliments again, aren't you?" Then, when she does something genuinely impressive, maybe she makes a witty joke or shows kindness, you acknowledge it. "See, that's why I like you. You're clever." Notice the difference? You're not withholding validation completely. You're making it rare, conditional, and meaningful. She has to earn it. And when she does, it feels powerful. The psychology here is simple. People value what's scarce. If your attention and praise are always on tap, they lose their power. But when you give them with intention, they become addictive. Here's the secret. Validation should never be the main course. It should be the spice. A little bit enhances the flavor, but too much ruins the meal. So remember this. The next time she fishes for compliments, don't fall into the trap of overinvesting. Smile, stay calm, maybe tease her, and save your genuine validation for the moments when she truly earns it. That's how you keep your respect, keep her chasing, and keep your compliments valuable. That's how you pass the validation trap. Trick number 5, the silence game. Picture this. You've been texting back and forth with a woman. Everything feels smooth, and then suddenly, silence. No reply for hours, maybe even days. You check your phone, you reread the messages, you start overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Did she lose interest? Is she talking to another guy? This, my friend, is the silence game. Now, before you panic, let's be clear. Sometimes people really do get busy. Work, family, obligations, life happens. But often, especially in the early stages of dating, silence isn't about her schedule, it's about you. She's pulling back to see how you'll respond. Will you start double texting? Will you call her repeatedly? Will you let anxiety take over and chase harder? Or will you stay calm, grounded, and unbothered? Because here's the truth. The silence game works so well because most men fail it. They can't handle uncertainty. They panic. And the moment you panic, you reveal your scarcity mindset. You show that her attention is your lifeline. And nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. Think about it. If you were truly a high-value man with options, would you lose sleep over one person, taking a few hours to reply? No. You'd be living your life, handling your business, and texting her back whenever she reached out. That calm confidence is what earns respect. Let's break it down with examples. Failed response. She doesn't reply for a few hours. You send another text. Hey, did you get my message? Then another. Are you mad at me? Maybe even, fine. Ignore me then. All of this screams insecurity. You've handed her all the power. Winning response. She doesn't reply for hours or even a day, and you stay calm. No chasing, no desperate follow-ups. When she finally texts back, you respond at your own pace, just as casually as before. You match her energy. If she's slow, you're slow. If she's consistent, you're consistent. The key is the abundance mindset. You have a life outside of her. You have goals, friends, passions, and options. You don't put everything on pause just because one woman isn't responding instantly. Here's the psychology. Silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty makes people invest mental energy. If she's wondering why you're not blowing up her phone, she's thinking about you. That's attraction at work. But if you break and chase, she feels secure. She knows she's got you, and the game is over. So the next time you're hit with silence, remember this. It's not a signal to push harder. It's a signal to hold your frame. Stay calm. Stay focused on your own life, and let her come back to you. Because when you show that you don't need her constant validation, you flip the script. Instead of you chasing her, she starts chasing you. That's how you pass the silence game. Now you've seen it. The 5 most common psychological tricks women use. The comparison test, the availability test, the attitude test, the validation trap, and the silence game. On the surface, they might look like games. But remember this, these aren't manipulative schemes. Most of the time, women aren't even aware they're doing it. These are subconscious behaviors rooted in psychology and biology. And they all serve one purpose, to scan for signals of your strength, your confidence, and your self-control. The truth is simple. Women respect men who remain calm, grounded, and unshaken. When you don't overreact, when you don't chase, when you don't crumble under pressure, you stand out instantly. Not just to her, but compared to 97% of men who fail these tests every single day. That's the lesson here. It's not about being manipulative. It's about holding your frame. It's about showing through your actions that you are the kind of man who values himself first. And when you live from that place, attraction and respect naturally follow. If you found this video valuable, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below about which test you've seen the most in your own life. And don't miss the next video, where I'll break down the deeper psychology of female attraction, the hidden instincts that drive desire at the core level. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.